It's a struggle day to day and from district to district. How do local schools manage COVID safety and prevent panic from spreading when those inevitable infections are reported? Paula Tutman shows us how one school is trying to educate everyone on the difference between an outbreak that requires a closure and a cluster that can be managed.
It's the phone call no parent wants to get.
It's always going to be a shock for a parent to get a call for a contact trace.
But George Mathis says he's glad he got the call from his school district. Yes, his son is currently quarantined, and that's unnerving. But Mr. Mathis says he's satisfied with how the Fraser Public School District is handling COVID for students in face-to-face learning.
He hasn't developed any symptoms, and he gets to go back to school on Monday. And we're going to let him go back. These kids need face-to-face learning.
Jennifer Payne sees it a little differently for her son, who's a senior in the district.
I'm starting to get frustrated with the notification because it's like, oh, here's another daily email of how many more cases. And I feel like the number of quarantine is increasing.
The Fraser Public School District has 4,900 students and, like many districts, is juggling the ravages of COVID in the community and an appropriate response for students.
The mental health side of things, of having kids back in the building, I think is so important.
This is a district that has actually been back to face-to-face learning since before Christmas. Currently, there are 11 cases of COVID throughout the district, 11 teachers quarantined, and close to 150 students quarantined.
I'm curious why they're not considering this an outbreak at this time.
But that's less than 1% throughout the district, with 70% of its students opting for 5-day-a-week face-to-face learning.
When you have so many students back in the building, we do our best to social distance, but it doesn't always happen. We work very hard though with, the hand washing, the cleaning, making sure we have seating charts in place. So when we do need to contact trace, we're able to do a really good job with that.
The key for Fraser has been to focus on mitigation and aggressive contact tracing and quarantining.
I don't want you to think I'm sitting here saying everything's, sunshine and roses. It's hard. This is hard work. It's challenging having to do this contact tracing, to have these conversations with parents. We knew going back that we would have this happen, but the benefits of having kids back in school, being able to get them breakfast and lunch, and having that teacher contact and being with their friends has truly been incredible.
Okay, so now let's talk about the threshold for actually closing schools. It depends on the district. A lot of it also has to do with whether or not you can get enough teachers or have enough teachers for in-person, face-to-face learning, or even to teach remotely, because these kids aren't just throwing their feet up in quarantine. They are still going to school. Devin, I don't know how you did in high school calculus. I didn't do well, hence I ended up in journalism. But this is the kind of math these districts have to pull together to try to figure this stuff out. And what they really need is for parents to understand and everybody work together on this.
It was not my favorite class, and I followed the path that you did. We found something else better than calculus.
And here we are.
Here we are. All right, Paula.